Imagine a language so powerful it could open every door you have ever dreamed of. A key to better careers, exciting journeys across the globe, international friendships, and opportunities without limit. That language is English. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Why this language in particular? Why not another? What gave English the strength to rise above thousands of others and become the world's dominant tongue? Today, we are uncovering the hidden story, the surprising and little-known reasons English became the king of languages. And once you grasp its true power, you'll see how mastering English could transform your life in ways you never imagined. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Right then, let's unlock the truth behind English's unstoppable global rise. Travel back in time. 1,500 years ago, English was not a global language. In fact, it was barely more than a local dialect, spoken by a small number of people in England. At that time, the mighty languages were Latin, Greek, Chinese, and Arabic, the tongues of empires, trade, and religion. English was viewed as simple, even unimportant, confined to a small island. So how did it grow from obscurity into the #1 language of the modern world? The answer lies in history, power, and globalization. Picture the 1600s. England was becoming a rising power, but far from the greatest. Spain and France had far larger empires. England, however, possessed a secret weapon: its navy. The British built one of the most formidable naval forces in history, allowing them to explore, conquer, and colonize faraway lands. Soon, parts of America, Africa, India, and Australia were under British control. And with British rule came the spread of English. Here's the crucial part. Even after these nations won independence, English remained entrenched in government, business, and education. That is why, even today, countries such as India, Nigeria, and South Africa still use English as an official language.
Yet, the British Empire alone wasn't enough to make English the undisputed global language. Something else happened, something even more powerful: the rise of the United States of America. The year was 1945, the end of the Second World War, one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. Europe lay in ruins. Britain, Germany, and France were devastated. Economies collapsed, cities destroyed, millions of lives lost. But across the Atlantic, one country emerged stronger than ever: the United States. Unlike Europe, America had not endured large-scale destruction on its own soil. Instead, its industries had flourished, its technology advanced, and its government remained stable. With such power came global influence. After the war, America began to lead in almost every field: politics, economics, science, culture, and technology. And with America's rise came the second great wave of English dominance. Let's break this down. First, the dollar became the world's currency. One of the biggest reasons English rose was money. After the war, the American dollar became the most powerful currency in the world. Nations everywhere began using it for trade, banking, and investment. Oil is bought in dollars. Cross-border business is conducted in dollars. Global markets run on America's financial system. And because money and business are inseparable, the language of business became English. Even now, if you want to work in an international company, negotiate global deals, or build a worldwide business, you need English. Second, America created modern entertainment and pop culture. In the 20th century, Hollywood films and American music conquered the globe. Before this, people consumed local entertainment in their own languages. But after the war, Hollywood became the world's film capital. American artists topped the charts, and English-language television shows became international hits. People everywhere began watching films in English, singing along to English songs, and dreaming of speaking like their favourite stars. Even today, the biggest blockbusters, music albums, and Netflix series are in English. And because people love entertainment, they pick up the language almost unconsciously. Third, the internet was built in English. Imagine a world without it. Today, we rely on the internet for everything: learning, working, shopping, socializing, entertainment. But when it was created, almost all content was in English. The earliest websites were English. The most powerful tech companies, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, were American. The programming languages that built the online world were written in English. As a result, English became the digital default. Even now, most websites and software require English. If you want to thrive in the digital era, you must understand it. Whether you're studying, running a business, or simply scrolling social media, English is unavoidable.
Fourth, English became the language of science and innovation. The leading scientific journals, medical breakthroughs, and technological discoveries are published in English. The world's top universities teach in English. The largest tech companies operate in English. For scientists, doctors, and engineers, English is the key to sharing work globally. This is why students from China, India, Brazil, and Russia dedicate years to learning it, because without English, their knowledge remains local. Fifth, America's military and political power reinforced English. After World War II, the United States became not only the strongest economy, but also the greatest military power. The United Nations adopted English as one of its primary languages. NATO conducts its operations in English. World leaders at international summits often communicate in English. If you want to participate in global politics, you must speak it. Step back for a moment. English isn't the world's most spoken language. Mandarin Chinese has more native speakers, and Spanish is widespread, but English is the most useful. Why? Because it dominates money, trade, entertainment, the internet, science, and politics. Speak English and you open doors to better jobs, easier travel, faster learning, wider business, and global culture without waiting for translations. English isn't just a language, it's a life skill. We've seen how the British Empire spread English and how America's rise cemented it. But the question remains, will English always hold its crown? Or could another language, Chinese, Spanish, or even artificial intelligence, take its place? Let's explore this. First, English is still gaining strength. More than 1.5 billion people are learning it right now. That's nearly a fifth of the world's population. Even in countries where it isn't an official language, such as China, Russia, Brazil, and Germany, English is compulsory in schools. Parents, students, and professionals all know that English unlocks opportunities, better jobs, higher salaries, access to world-class universities in global communication. In villages in Africa and small towns in Asia, English learning centres open daily. It is no longer just a language, it is a survival skill, and demand is rising every year. Second, the digital world runs on English. Over half of all websites are in English. Programming languages rely on English keywords. Social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, operate primarily in English. Viral trends, memes, and global conversations usually begin in English. Even non-English speakers use English hashtags to reach a wider audience. That makes English not only a spoken language, but also a digital necessity. And in our era, strength online means strength in reality. Now, could another language replace it? Mandarin has more native speakers, and China holds immense economic influence. But Mandarin is notoriously difficult to learn. Thousands of characters, complex grammar, and tones that challenge even advanced learners. Even China itself prioritizes English education over spreading Mandarin abroad. Spanish has over 500 million speakers across more than 20 countries, yet its reach is mainly regional, and Spanish-speaking nations themselves often prioritize English for business. What about artificial intelligence and translation technology? Tools like Google Translate are improving, and real-time voice translation is already possible. But here's the truth. Leaders, scientists, and professionals still prefer to speak directly in one common language. English is already too deeply embedded in global systems to be replaced easily. So, what does the future look like? English will keep growing. More schools, more universities, more businesses will demand it. Simpler versions of English might emerge for learners. Other languages will remain important, Mandarin, Spanish, Arabic, but they are unlikely to dethrone English. AI will help with translation, but it won't remove the need to speak English fluently. In short, if you're learning English, you're making one of the best investments of your life. And here's the most important part. English can change your life. Without it, the world feels smaller. The best films, books, and online courses are out of reach. Many jobs will reject you outright. Traveling becomes stressful, and business opportunities slip away. No matter your talent or hard work, without English, the world doesn't hear you. But with it, everything changes. You can apply for high-paying jobs at multinational companies. You can work remotely for firms in London, New York, or Toronto. If you run a business, you can sell worldwide. In fact, many people double or triple their income simply by learning English.
English also gives you freedom to travel with confidence. From Paris to Tokyo, airports, hotels, and international signs speak English. Wherever you go, someone will understand you. Beyond that, English is the gateway to knowledge. 90% of the world's most valuable knowledge, universities, books, tutorials, research, is available in English. Whatever your dream, becoming a doctor, entrepreneur, artist, or influencer, you'll find the tools to succeed in English. Ultimately, English is more than grammar and vocabulary. It is power. It is freedom. When you master it, you no longer feel trapped by borders or limitations. You gain confidence, independence, and the ability to connect with the world. That's why millions dedicate themselves to it every day. Because English is not just a language, it is a life-changing skill. So here's the challenge. Don't just listen, act. Practice English daily. Read, listen, write and speak as much as you can. Make mistakes, learn from them, and never give up. Because one day, you'll look back and realize learning English was the best decision of your life. And when that day comes, you'll thank yourself for your persistence. So keep going and make it happen. And if you found this lesson valuable, remember to subscribe for many more to come. Let's learn, grow, and change our lives together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.